weight will increase, the stomach will be, the abdomen will be swollen, the udder, that's the breast, also will be swollen. Then it varies from animal to animal. In cow, it is 283 days, that is between 275 and 285 days. Then in ewe, it is 144 days, between 112 days and 116 days. In sow, it is 150 days, between 145 and 155 days. In doe, the female of goats, it is 151 days, between 150 and 155 days. Then in doe of rabbits, it is 31 days, between 30 and 31 days. Now, the next term I will be defining is ovulation. Ovulation is the rupturing of the ovary wall, that's the Graafian follicle, to release mature eggs or ova into the fallopian tube of the animal. This ovulation is under the control of the pituitary gland, or what we call the luteinizing hormone. It occurs in between or midway of ostrous circle in the females that are on it and shows the desire to be mated. Time of ovulation also varies among farm animals. In cow, it is about 10 to 14 hours after ostrus. In sow, it's about 24 to 36 hours after ostrus. In ewe, it's about 20 to 24 hours after ostrus. Then in rabbit, it is immediately after mating or even during mating. Now, the next term is parturition. Parturition is the act of giving birth in farm animals. This marks the end of pregnancy. Once pregnancy is over, then the young one is giving birth to. So parturition ends gestation period, that's the period of pregnancy, but begins lactation period, that's the milking period. In parturition, during parturition, the placenta breaks away from the uterus wall when the developing fetus has reached full term in the uterus. The fetus in the bag of membranes moves through the cervix and out through the vagina. At some point, the membrane bag breaks and the fluid inside is released. Then the umbilical cord, that's the cord that connects the fetus to the mother, constricts in the middle and breaks naturally. Then the placenta and the broken membranes comes out of the uterus as after birth, as after the young animals come out. Then the placenta and the broken membranes come out after it, after birth. Then also parturition varies in farm animals as its period, gestation, ostrus, and ovulation period varies. So in cow, we call parturition calving. Parturition is called calving in cow. It is called farrowing in sow. It is called lambing in ewe, that's for sheep. Then in doe of goat, it's called kidding. Also in doe of rabbits, it is also called kidding. Signs of approaching parturition, that is, signs that you look out for, that this my animal will soon deliver a young one for me. Signs that you look out for. Number one, the mammary glands enlarge and begin to secrete milk substance. You know, the mammary gland has been swollen, but now it's now more enlarged. Then it begins to release some milky substances. So you know that, oh, the young one is almost there. Then the vulva swells and becomes soft. Then there may be thick mucus discharge from the animal. Then the animal also becomes restless, lies down and gets up frequently, doesn't know what to do, so it's rested up and down. Then the animal also urinates frequently. Also, the animal tries to build a nest or bed where the baby will be, or the young one will be giving birth to. Just as we have a rabbit that creates bed for its young one. Then there is loss of appetite. The animal does not want to eat. Those are the signs of approaching parturition. Now, the next term I'll be defining is fertilization. Fertilization is the fusion of the male sex cell, that's the sperm, and the female sex cell, that's the ovum or the egg. Fertilization occurs in the oviduct or the fallopian tube. Then it finally leads to the formation of zygotes. Fertilization may occur when an animal is on its period. That's about fertilization. Now, lactation. Lactation is the period in which the female animal releases milk from its udder immediately after parturition. I said parturition ends gestation period, but it starts lactation period. So the animal begins to release milk to feed the young one. Lactation is under the control of hormone called progesterone. So progesterone decreases. You know, progesterone is the one that was on during the period of gestation period. Then estrogen and oxytocin increases. You know, it was estrogen during the ovulation period and its period. But once pregnancy sets in, that is the gestation period, it is progesterone that is the hormone that is in action. But now, once lactation starts, progesterone reduces while estrogen and oxytocin increases. Then lactation can be stimulated by the presence of the young one. So when the young one comes around, makes some sound to the mother, then the milk can start flowing, or by milker. That's the machine, or you use your hand to rub the udder of the farm animal, or you use a milking machine. So there are various ways that you can stimulate lactation in an animal: by the presence of the young one, by the milker, by using your hand to rub the udder, that's the breast of the animal, or you use milking machine. Now, the goat milk is the richest and the best of all the farm animals, of all the milk of the farm animals. The goat milk is the richest and the best milk in all the farm animals. Now, lactation period in animal. This is a table that is just summarizing lactation in the farm animal goats. Then the female name is called doe. Number of glands, that is number of mammary gland or the breast, 2. Goat has 2 mammary glands. Then sheep, the sheep is called ewe, and it has 2 glands too. Cattle is called cow. The female of cattle is called cow, but it has 4 mammary glands. Rabbit is called doe. It has 2 lines or 2 rows of mammary gland, 10, which would be about 10 to 14. That's serious. Then in pig, the female of pig is called sow, and it also has 2 lines, just as we have in rabbit, 2 lines of breast or udder, 2 lines of udder, between 10 and 14 too. Domestic fowl, the female is called layer, but you don't have breasts or any mammary gland in domestic fowl. What importance does milk have to you as a farmer and even to the farm, to the animal itself? 1, it's a source of protein, a good source of protein food. Then it is used in raising foster calves, lambs, or children. You know, you feed our young ones with milk too, but it has stages. Then it is used in preparation of baby food. It supplies minerals to your livestock. Then it is used as an extender in artificial insemination practices. Milk is also used in the preparation of dairy products such as butter, cheese, and yogurt. The next term I will be defining is the colostrum. The colostrum is the first milk that is produced immediately after birth, that is immediately after parturition. And colostrum comes out usually the first 5 days of lactation. The milk that comes out in the first 5 days that the baby is born or is giving birth to, that the young animal is giving birth to, and is being fed with milk, is called colostrum. It's a yellowish white milk which all young ones must have access to. It contains some antibodies that fight against diseases. It is rich in protein, albumin, and globulins. It contains vitamin A, vitamin E, and vitamin B2. Now, the structure of a fertile egg. The egg is oval in shape. It is either brown or white in color. The hard shell covers the egg externally, and it is rich in calcium carbonate. Then you have the hair space, that's to the inside of the egg now. The air space or the air sac is located on one of the pointed ends of the egg. It is for respiration of the embryo. Then we have the membranes, the outer and the inner membranes. They give protection to the egg. The egg yolk, that's the yellowish portion, is one that produces enough food for the developing embryo. The albumin, that's the white portion of the egg, provides water and food for the embryo, then it absorbs shock. Then we have porous shell layer, which protects and allows gaseous exchange. Allantois aids respiration and excretion. Amnion cushions and protects the embryo. The chalaza, that's the thread that suspends the yolk for protection. As the development proceeds, embryo now is known as fetus, becomes enveloped by protective fetal or embryonic membrane. And the embryonic membrane, I've been mentioning them, but I want to now talk about them in details. We have the amnion. The amnion is the innermost membrane filled with amniotic fluid, which cushions shock effect and protects the developing embryo from shaking, jerry, or desiccating. You know, the animal during gestation does a lot of activity. The amnion is the one that acts as the absorber, shock absorber for the fetus. It neutralizes the effect of changes of external temperature and acts as the shock absorber. Then the chorion, that's the next membrane, forms the outermost membrane enveloping all the membrane, absorbing oxygen through the porous shell. Then we have the allantois. Allantois aids respiration, nutrition and excretion in developing embryo through the allantoid blood vessels supplying blood to the placenta. The yolk sac provides digested food for the developing embryo. Then on further development, an umbilical cord is formed. This attaches the embryo to the placenta. The blood of the mother and the fetus are separate and do not mix. Now I'll be talking about main reproductive hormones and their function. And the first that I'll be talking about is the androgen, or what we call the testosterone. It is found in the male. It initiates sperm formation, that is spermatogenesis.